This is the most awkward moment because we're live. Yes, getting started. Okay, hello everyone. We are live and waiting for everybody to hop on. As you join this, tell us where you're watching from. Hello, Christy, the first commenter on our live chat tonight. Oh,
you
there's
might
Rose.
have to move the computer closer because of the microphone.
Okay, yeah. You guys, please let me know if you can hear everything okay. We're going to pull it in a little closer, and I'm going to try to speak up. Hello, everybody. There's Rose. She's on it. She was here and ready for us.
What's up?
Hello. Here we go. You can hear just fine. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Great. Thank you. All righty. Well, we're live on Sunday night. If you had seen in a video we did earlier this week, this is something we want to start doing on a regular basis. We're going to keep it to 1 hour because there is another homesteader that goes live right after this. Parttime Farmers, they do a live stream. So we want to make sure that we keep this to an hour and just honor everybody's time. But we had a lot of people asking us to do live videos regularly, that they really enjoyed this engagement and this connection. And so we thought, okay, that's something that we would love to be able to do for you guys. So we are going to start doing live videos on Sunday if possible. Rose said it buffered for a second. Okay, y'all keep us updated. For some reason it's not working right. Are the kids watching a movie on Netflix? Is it on the internet? Yeah. Okay, we might have to go check on something.
That computer is now streaming also.
Yeah. Go ahead and cut that one and look on your phone. We've got Daniel in here and he's looking at it. We'll let you know. Rose, if you'll holler at us if you will holler at us if it starts to get overwhelming with trolls and stuff, we can get Daniel to get on it. But I think the buffering is probably because he's on our other computer. We live in the middle of the sticks, so our internet's not great. So I just saw somebody say, hey, from Moulton, Alabama. Cool, huh? Daniel lives pretty near there. He's here.
Oh, yeah, Susie Borden.
Susie Borden? Sounds familiar. All right. You guys are all hollering at us from where? Oh, today was somebody saying they saw you playing basketball. Yeah, I got a message today. Jeremiah was playing basketball with his family, and someone sent us a message and told us that they saw him. So we had a really good Thanksgiving. It's buffering again. We want to go get the kids onto a different movie, maybe something that's not on the internet. Okay. Thank you. You think that'll work?
Yeah, it will, but not. The Xbox doesn't play discs.
We put them in our room. Sorry, we're trying to figure out not.
Disc player, no,
Willow Creek, you're here! Yay, y'all! I've got super sweet mods. They make sure that this can happen. Hey, Grandma Rose. She said she's getting the buffering too. So, Grandma Rose, I want to hear your stories about working for a seed company. I just love what you share. And so that is really awesome. So, yeah, 180 degrees from average says this reminds us of our internet here in Minnesota. Our internet is really, really rough, and we try to do it the best we can, but sometimes it slows us down. Like, I have to stay on top of videos. Like, usually you see videos the day after that I shoot them because sometimes it takes all night to upload them. So I can't usually shoot and edit and upload in the same day.
It could be Rose's internet because Willow Creek's saying that we haven't buffered for her. So
okay, so it could be both. I don't know. Somebody else said it though too. Other people were saying it too. Somebody said, "Do you play Xbox?" Not really. Our kids have an Xbox and they watch TV and stuff on it. But I don't know. They have some games that they've played. So okay, I want to remind everybody to put your comment or your questions in all caps. If you have any questions, I'll put them on all caps. I don't know how much announcements I really have. This is more just for the sake of engagement. So, City Girl Country Heart said, I'm sending you some surprises. Y'all, I am unabashedly like a gifts person. I love gifts. It just like warms my heart. And you guys send me so much love. Don't poke the bear. I got your beautiful gift. Thank you so, so much for that. I actually just went and got it yesterday. I don't think I've even showed Jeremiah yet. This is a really pretty, like a cross bookmark that's hand stitched. It's so beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Thank you so much. You guys, the stuff that I get in my mail just makes me cry. Somebody said how many points on that buck, Maya. It was not a large buck. He actually thought it was a doe, but it was legal, thankfully.
It was a button buck. It had no horns.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was a doe. So
how many seed packs? How many seed packs did you come home with from Baker Creek? A lot.
We can't talk about that.
A lot. It was a lot. It was really awesome. I actually got a lot to give away as well. Like I brought home some donation packs that are going, because basically at the end of the year, they donate a lot of the older packs to like schools and community seed banks and all of that. And so I actually brought home some of those in order to give them to like, we have a seed library in Conway, and I'm going to take a bunch of stuff in that and bulk that up and to take to a seed exchange that'll be in the spring. Jenna Snow, thank you so much for sending that super chat. That's so sweet. I didn't see a question attached to it, but I just want to say thank you. Can I borrow your husband to help me build my garden? Huh?
Okay, so a couple of questions is the black boots. I think we're actually doing some giveaways for that.
Bogs.
Yeah, bogs.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually I'm going to send them a message because they're giving me 2 pairs to give away, and I'm going to see if I can do one on Instagram and one on YouTube because I know some people don't have Instagram. So I'm trying to work that out. They're Boggs brand, and you can get them on like Amazon or whatever. And they're really, really awesome. I love that company. And I was really excited to work with them because they make their stuff in the United States, which is kind of rare these days.
The greenhouse is 10 by 12, the current greenhouse.
Yes. The greenhouse we currently have is 10 by 12, which it started as a kit from Harbor Freight, fell apart. Jeremiah reinforced it, rebuilt it, fell apart again. And now he's like, it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So, can a part-time farmer make a successful homestead without a partner into homesteading? I can't speak on that from experience because this has always been a team effort. For us, hold on, let me make Lauren a moderator. Okay. And so it's always been a team effort, but I mean, I know people, I think the biggest thing on that would be making sure that you don't bite off more than you can chew. Really asking yourself, what do I need to accomplish here in order to have success? Like, what are you trying to create for yourself? And then also really like, I don't know, Mike Dixon, the Fit Farmer, he talks a lot about growing microgreens because in such a smaller amount of space, you can make more per ounce of harvest than you could if you were growing salad greens. And I think finding things like that, if you were a single person going into this, for instance, like if you're going to keep chickens and sell eggs, keep a really high-bred type of chicken and sell the eggs as hatching eggs and get $50 for a dozen instead of $4 for a dozen for eating, like things like that. I think you can make some smart decisions, and with a small, manageable amount of space for one person, do it single. I think that's totally doable.
We're not going to hear back from the High Tunnel stuff until sometime in December or January. So as soon as they get back to us on awards, on who got what, then we will definitely let you guys know because we'll be excited.
We'll be really excited. They sounded pretty hopeful. Basically, in the rural area where we live, they said that the grant usually covers all the applicants, but they had more applicants this year. But with Maya being a veteran and stuff, like it sounded like we would have preference. So we're excited to hear back. Thank you so much, Jacqueline Freeman. You're so sweet to us. She's always so encouraging. She comments the most encouraging
And you
things.
have not started the Facebook group yet, or you have started it, but it's not really.
Yeah, I have not launched that Facebook group yet. I will make sure to tell you guys when I do. We do have our shirts out, like some of the newer shirts. I don't have one yet to show you in person, but it's on Teespring. And suggestions on starting a channel and networking for homesteading. Simplicity Farm. Elaborate on what you mean as far as like suggestions for starting a channel. What exactly are you curious about? Are Nubians allowed goat breed? Yes.
Yes.
I want one, but only live on 1 acre. That's fine, but you can't just have one goat. You have to have at least 2 because they are herd animals and they are very social. Thank you, Carla. That's so sweet. People are so nice to us. Let's see. Grandma Rose said someone asked about alpacas. If Red Duchess Farms comes back to the Deep South gathering, you need to get up with Jamie Watt. Oh, thank you, Grandma Rose, for reminding me. I do need to announce that we will be at Deep South Homestead's gathering in March, and I'm actually going to be speaking at that gathering. So that's going to be really awesome. I don't have my calendar right here. If somebody, Grandma Rose, can you share what day that is? So if anybody wants to know, but that is in South Mississippi, in Wiggins, and there's actually 2 Wiggins, Mississippis, and it's the one that's further south. It's about 6 hours from here. So if you guys can make it to that, if you want to plan to come out, we would love to meet you guys, and I know it's going to be a really encouraging time. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Julie K is asking, easy way to amend the soil. I can tell you what I do, and it really just depends on what issues you're having, but I know a lot of people put like gypsum down if they have like really clay soil. We amend all our soil with the bedding from all of our animals and our horse manure because that's just what we have. So it's all just like animal stuff, and we just lay it on there. And if you haven't watched the film Back to Eden Gardening film, it's a free film. If you Google it, they have a website. And that is such an interesting thing. If you've got poor soil, that's definitely something to look into. Okay, Rose said it's on March 9th. You're right. It is on March 9th. I remember now because that's my son Toby's birthday, and we're going to bring him down there with us. So March 9th is the Deep South gathering. And it says, where can I find info on the coming to the Deep South gathering?
Just go to their YouTube channel.
Yeah, go to their YouTube channel, and they have a Facebook page for that gathering. If you're interested in coming, you can like send a request to their Facebook page, and they check and make sure you're like a real person, and then you can come in and join that community. They're super awesome people though, and it's going to be really fun.
No quail hatched yet.
No quail have hatched yet. They should be starting to hatch tomorrow is what I'm thinking.
I checked them just a little bit ago and there wasn't any.
No pips or anything yet, but we've kept everything good. We've kept the humidity right. It did dip once when we went out of town. I came back and the humidity was pretty low, but I candled them after that and saw movement. So I think we should be good. During the winter, do you do deep bedding for your goats and chickens? Yes, we do that for both of those. We do deep bedding and just keep layering it down to keep them a little warmer. What is the best mulch, sugar cane or hay or straw? I've never used sugar cane, so I can't speak to that. I have used hay and straw, and they both have their benefits. Straw being hollow is really good for holding in the heat, but it is so bulky and it doesn't add much nutrients back to your soil. Mulching with hay does break down and add nutrients back to your soil. However, sometimes it has seeds in it, so you might end up with seeds. I currently have hay mulch down in my garden, and I really, really like it, but I didn't get a really seedy batch. So it was just kind of a risk that I took, and I really like it. Do you farm with any of the horses? No, we don't. Mm-hmm. I really love the romantic idea of having plow horses, but we don't have enough space to really warrant that right now, and we have raised beds, so we don't have much of a need for them. Okay, that wasn't really a question to us.
What?
So something about Missouri. How will you be housing your quail? You want to answer that?
A friend of mine who's raised quail gave me a quail hutch, and we're going to bring it into the garage and put newspaper down on the bottom. I'll give you guys we'll probably throw it in a vlog so y'all can see. But we're going to put a newspaper down when they're young, and we'll put our, what are they called? The radiant heating plates. Mm-hmm. We use heating plates. We stopped using the big hot.
We don't use heat lamps on our birds.
It's too risky. We use essentially it's a plate that heats up. I'm sure most people
Premier
One, and they can get up out underneath it, or they can get up close to it.
So yeah, we'll have those. We got to set up our brooder probably tonight if they're going to start hatching tomorrow. Someone mentioned that we are so near 60,000, and you are so right. We'll probably roll over 60,000 in the next day or so, which is amazing and just completely mind-blowing. Jacqueline Freeman said, the new black boots, where can I find them? Those are Boggs brand, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, they have a website. You can find them on Amazon. And Baker Creek didn't give me a promo code, but they did just start their free shipping on everything. And they also gave me some stuff to give away. So I'm about to be hosting some giveaways on Instagram and on YouTube. Giving away, I've got some catalogs, I've got some signed books from Jared and Emily, and they are letting me come up with my favorite seeds to make essentially like a Roots and Refuge collection, which will be I'll be able to give away. It won't be available for purchase, but I will be able to give it away, and they're going to give me some of those collections to give away to you guys, which will be really awesome, and you'll be able to get some of the things that I talk about so much. How many feet of grow boxes do you have? Total right now, my garden has, I think it's roughly like 1,900 square feet in raised garden beds. The garden itself, the fenced area is 10,000 square feet, but that's including walkways and the area for the pavilion and all of that. I was just gifted comfrey root. Any suggestions on planting? I have no idea. That's something that I've actually never grown before. Have you mentioned the April 6th meeting? No, I have not. VW Family Farms. I've not mentioned that meeting. Thank you for reminding me. So we are hosting.
Hashtag 60,000 equals alpacas. Who is this 80 degrees from average?
Maybe the person you talked to.
Hey,
on the
moderators.
phone. No, do not block him. Do not block him. Some of these people might not know.
Oh, man, I'm funny.
Okay. I was answering Ben, your other friend. You have a friend. Okay, so we're actually co-hosting a meeting here in Arkansas on April 6th. It's going to be located at VW Family Farms. They're right outside Quitman. It's about 30 minutes from where we live. And they've got lots of space out there. We are still working on sponsors and everything. But it's just going to be like an afternoon meetup. We're going to do a plant sale and a seed swap during that time, and just have everybody come together and just spend some time together. We're getting some information together for all of you guys. But as of right now, mark your calendars that April 6th, that is going to be going on right outside Quitman, Arkansas, for your maps. And we are really excited. I've had several people already start messaging me and telling me that they're going to be traveling in for that. And I'm super pumped to meet everybody.
Somebody's asking, kind of, they've asked a lot. Someone answered about the garden bed. Are we expanding the garden?
Yes.
So explain just quickly, What are we doing? I know we're adding in the in-ground garden is getting a makeover for fruit bushes like blackberries, blueberries, whatever you decide to throw in there.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, we've currently got our raised garden beds, about 1,900 square feet of raised garden beds. And within the fence of that garden, there's the area which we planted in the ground this year, just some rows of stuff. Daniel was actually here and was like, hey, I'll run the tiller. Why don't we just try it? I wasn't even convinced on trying it. And he actually tilled that up and planted that garden. And we got way more than we were expecting because the ground is just very heavy clay. And it actually did fairly well. Some of the stuff struggled. It wasn't as healthy as the stuff in the beds, but it was okay. But what we're doing this year is we're actually putting a fence up, and that half of the garden is going to be like our perennial area. We're going to put in an asparagus patch. We're going to put in several arches with berry bushes and kind of establish that area with the things that will come back year after year. The eventual plan, I don't know if we will start on this year, but we are planning on the whole front yard being essentially a cottage garden, like a, herbs, flowers, butterfly garden. The back is going to be, that's where we'll put the hoop house, granted, if we get approved for that. And we're also going to be putting like a larger back to Eden garden space back there. And that's where we're going to grow things. In the hoop house, we actually got some really neat orange trees from Baker Creek that we're going to put somewhere back there that are hardy in our area. What?
What is my favorite Lego?
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah. So, and then we're going to be doing in the back, like the things that you want to grow more volume of: corn, beans, the things that, it's kind of hard to grow a lot of in raised garden beds. So how do you manage to keep all that garden space watered? That's a major issue for me.
Oh, yeah, we water it by hand, which is actually one of the cool things that the grant is going to do. They've included a drip tape watering system, irrigation system that they're going to literally give us.
Yeah, that's part of that grant. If you guys are doing a farming effort on a small scale and you have a deed to your land, check with your local agriculture office, because there are some seriously cool grants that are available to small farmers right now. So that's one of them. April Westervelt said, she sent super chats and said, here's something towards your 100,000 sub cruise goal. Okay. What was that?
I think it was 10 outside.
Okay. So we are having a crazy winds outside. Okay. So I've got to explain what April's talking about. When we had like 5,000 or 6,000 subs, our channel started growing really fast in the spring. Like we had just a couple thousand subs and it started to grow really fast. Well, we were at like 5,000 subs, and my kids, who YouTube is like my children's generation, it's like cable TV. Like when we were kids, we had cable, they have YouTube. Like we've never had cable. My kids have never complained because they have YouTube. Well, my kids think it's the coolest thing in the world. Their friends are watching our channel. And my kids are like, Mom, this is cool. This is going to give us cool stuff and, cool opportunities and cool things. And they were talking about wanting to go on a cruise. We have never been on like a legit family vacation ever, because quite honestly, for a long time, we've just been really broke. And so we've never been on a big family vacation. We've gone like to a family reunion and like little road trips here and there to stay with other family, but we've never gone on like a cruise or anything like that. Well, I told my kids, well, when we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'll book a cruise. I didn't say we would go on at 100,000 subscribers. I said, book it. And I thought I would have more time. I thought that was going to be something that would be like a far off thing that we could like save towards. Well, when we hit 50, my kids are like, we're halfway there. And I'm like, oh, crud, you remember that. Of course they do. They'll never forget it. They'll never let me forget it. So thank you, April. That was very sweet. And Carla sent super chats and said, this is towards my alpacas.
Oh, she's asking about, let's answer super chats. Okay.
What? Somebody asked what super chats is?
They said, why do I keep seeing the dollar amounts and stuff? Because they're seeing the same screen we're seeing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. People send that and it highlights it to us because this is going so fast that it's basically a way to highlight your comment and just to, be sweet and bless us. So let me go back up and try to find some more comments. Do you have to sell to qualify for the rent? No, you do not. You do not have to be currently in business. Now, obviously, they're hoping to boost that economy of small farmers, because you're more likely to sell if you get successful in it, but you are not required to sell.
Zavia said that we are going to have, when we hit 500,000, you'll have to take your extended family on a cruise. I'm like, I've got extended family now trying to get on a cruise. They're like, I'm going on a cruise.
Zavia speaks so much life over us. Oh, golly, what did I just do? Okay, sorry. I zoomed in really close to this chat. J Dog's Place. Hey, Jerry, how are you? We love you too and all your sweet comments. Someone said if you can find a channel on YouTube. Oh, she's talking to somebody else.
You have to have the county. Go to your county or Koch. What I did is I called them. Someone saying, do you have to have the deed to your land? You have to be on the deed, so you don't actually have to have it physically, but the county keeps records. And then you register for your farm number through your farmer something. It's all abbreviated, letters. I don't know I'll have to look it up to find out exactly what it means. But it's a FA something. They give you your farm number. You take the farm number to the USDA office. That's how you apply for the grant.
Karen said, "Congrats, Maya, on your first solo vlog, brother. Excellent job."
Oh, you all noticed that little thing?
That little thing. He's so modest. I thought he did really well. I was really proud of him. It was really good. Do you till everything in the spring? No, I don't. I don't till my beds at all, but they're not being walked on. They don't get compacted.
And the super soil is really loose.
And the super soil is really loose. I mean, it's basically really broke down compost, so it works a lot like a wood chip mulch and keeping the ground loose and good. But I'm working more towards like a no-till method because I think that it's better not to till if you can help it, and using a lot of ground coverings to keep the soil loose. Are you doing another devotional soon? Yes, I am doing another devotional this week. We're actually starting. We'll have a new video out tomorrow. That's the start of a series about like do-it-yourself gifts and just kind of sharing some of the ideas that we've come up with, that we've given our kids, that have been hits, that are affordable gifts that you can make without having a ton of skill. And then I'm also going to be doing a devotional that I think is going to be a really helpful topic that goes along the line of gifts. So I'm going to be sharing that hopefully later this week. Ag Extension Office, isn't that right?
That's where you get the farm number.
That's where you go to the farm
number.
number.
Your USDA office.
And then you go to the USDA office. He had to talk to both. But he was able to call and get the farm number over the phone.
Yeah. Oh, we never did address my favorite Legos.
Your favorite Lego set. Okay, let's hear it. Star Wars Legos. All the Star Wars Legos.
I love the ships.
Yeah, he likes the ships.
I think I'm actually going to start collecting them.
Yeah, we're working on remodeling our basement, and we're going to have like a music room set up down there. So Jeremiah's going to have a room that's actually like the kids aren't in without supervision. And so he's going to set up his Lego ships on the shelving and his models.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Nerdy, but cool.
Let's see.
Oh, someone asked about quail.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get them up and running, are we planning on being able to sell? Because they really are looking into the blue acres, and we are closer to them than West Coast is.
We'll probably sell locally. As far as purchasing for mail, I mean, I really suggest Alchemist Farms because they really do a fantastic job. They pack them really well. And I mean, we went through and candled all of ours.
Infrastructure to like mail.
Yeah, to try to mail them and stuff. But I mean, we'll sell locally, most likely. So
if you want them from us, you'll have to come here.
Yeah. What did I put on Ben's fire ant bites, Willow Dean? I put Young Living Purification Oil.
Oh, okay.
That
while I was gone.
Yeah, he got into an ant pile yesterday. It was really rough. Like it was bad. He came in the house and still had some of them on him, and we picked them all off. But I use other brands other than Young Living also. Other brands that I feel like are really good and are cheaper. But I have used Young Living as well for over 10 years. And that particular purification blend is so good for bug bites. Red Bud Farm for some Tanya's pink pod seeds. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. That's the one seed that I didn't have on my list of what I wanted to grow next year. That is really sweet.
Do we plan on selling our seeds someday? If by someday you mean now between any time? Maybe. If you mean like now in like the next 5 years, after visiting Baker Creek, the answer is no.
Yeah,
no, we do not plan on doing all of that.
In order to be able to really do it to a level of excellence, like the amount of work that goes into that is wild. And watching Baker Creek's operation makes me want to just send people to them because I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine being able to put it all together right now and do it well, but so I usually send people to Baker Creek or M.I. Gardner because they got it going on. So Target is selling a Star Wars socks advent calendar. That's really cool. So let's see. Let me come down a little bit. How do we prepare for winter weather? We don't get like crazy winter weather here. So it's not like we have to do what a lot of people have to do in other places, but we definitely like make sure our animals have plenty of bedding. We have to make sure the water doesn't freeze and all of that. We move some stuff to the greenhouse, but we don't have horrible winter weather here. We go under freezing some, but like today was 55 degrees.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Are you planning to set up your own seed swap? Is that something that you're interested
I
in?
am definitely going to do the seed swap in person at our meetup in April. And if I ever found people who maybe locally wanted to go in on that with me and do a seed swap, then I might do that. But I mean, I have to take into consideration that if I share something like that, I might end up with like 1,000 packages of seeds to go through. And I really right now don't have the capacity to do it. However, I am always willing to promote other people's seed swaps. And if somebody has something going on and sends me a message and says, hey, I'm doing a seed swap and I want to let people know about it, I love being able to share stuff like that to help other people get theirs off the ground. Lisa said, is the big seed catalog gift quality? Depends on who you're giving it to. I think it's absolutely gift quality. You know, like if you have a seed lover or a gardener or somebody who just enjoys reading about different things like that, absolutely. Actually, I could go grab it and show it. Okay. I'm going to let Daniel come sit here and talk to you guys for a minute. So if you have any questions for him, because I know he's been getting a lot, y'all been commenting a lot. And I'm going to go grab that seed catalog and take my pies out of the oven.
Hold on, I can see that. Someone was asking, I live about an hour west of Conway. Where is the super soil and cost? So almost every nursery in this area is going to carry super soil. So far, that's what I've found out. The issue is that they upcharge because you're getting it from them when you can just go to the source, which is in a place called Scott, Arkansas. And it's American something compost. If you Google American compost in Arkansas, then it'll come up. You can get it for $27 a yard, so it's pretty expensive. But there's nothing else comparable that's cheaper. So if you're in Arkansas, Central Arkansas, the place is American Compost in Scott, Arkansas. That's what you want to go do. Okay, let's see what we got here. I know someone doing this. Yeah, I know.
A lot of them are. I just can't keep up. I'm going to get Jeremiah.
Hi, once here in Oklahoma also. Daniel, I love your music. Daniel, do you have an album out? Do you have an album out?
Okay, I currently have 2 different albums out. You can find those on iTunes and Google Play and on Spotify. And that is, you look up The Unseen Anthem and you look up, the album is Saturate and the album is Prodigal. And I'm about to release a new album, which is called Psalms from the Secret Place. And that is going to be released within the next few months. And I'm super excited about that. That was my first studio album. And so I have 2 that are out, 1 about to be out. And you can also subscribe to my channel at Daniel Smith Psalmist. And I do all the music off of Roots and Refuge channel. I have on there instrumentally for you to listen to in your garden or pray to or whatever you like to do.
Oh, hey, we just want to say hey to Deep South Homestead. That's where we'll be going in March, right?
Yep.
That's pretty exciting. I'm glad to see them here. Hi, Daniel. You catching the tomato horn things? It was awesome. You rock, and so do you, Jeremiah. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's my pie, you mean?
It's my pie.
No.
I hope they share with me.
No, I don't. You can have some of the pumpkin pie. The pecan pie is mine.
Okay.
I think it's done.
All right, let's see. Way to go on the weight loss. Daniel, do you garden too?
I love to garden. And on my YouTube channel, I have some videos of me starting that. I have a lot of ideas that I'm wanting to do as well. Jessica and Jeremiah inspire me just like they inspire y'all. And I've really enjoyed being able to work in their garden and on their farm. And so I'm now in Alabama and I'm here visiting, but I'm in Alabama and I'm planning on doing some gardening of my own. I'm wanting to do some back to Eden gardening as well. And Jessica just blessed me with a bunch of seeds. And so I'm excited to be able to plant some of those in the spring. And I'm looking at doing some different things. So yes, I garden as well.
You want to scooch and let me in?
Scooch?
Scooch, yeah.
What does scooch mean?
Who asked questions?
I answered that one. That was the one about Daniel. Does he garden or no? She was just being encouraging. She said that me and Daniel rock.
Aww.
Thanks.
That was from Jacqueline Freeman. And the other one was from way a minute ago.
Cool.
So you want to say something to Deep South Homestead they're on?
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
I also want to ask you guys to please go love on my moderators. I know Wholesome Roots is on here and Willow Creek Homestead. My friend Lauren's also moderating, and she's the bomb diggity. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but y'all can just tell her here that she's really great. But the other two girls, y'all go follow their channels and encourage them, because they make this possible for us to be able to do. Honestly, because it gets kind of rough sometimes with people being nasty, and I get my feelings hurt easily. And if there weren't
Emil Gardner's son.
people, oh, hey, Luke.
Luke's on. He says, "You guys are the best. 560 people live is just insane."
Oh, y'all, and go love on Luke, because they're the sweetest too. So I know a lot of you guys already follow them, but I'm gonna be sending you guys something, Luke. I got to get your address, but I've got something for you and your sweet lady.
Well, Susie H. My carrots failed this year. Any advice for next year? Give us some more information on what you like what were the conditions? Was it hot,
Carrots are
cold?
hard.
Like, what kind of soil did you put it in?
Carrots are really hard. If you have rocky soil, they don't like that. If you sow them too deep, they don't like that. You really have to surface sow. If it's too hot, they don't do well. So tell me what happened, and maybe we can troubleshoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I get my shirt? This girl called One Lane Road made this, and I thought it was really awesome because it said plant roots on it. So I got it from her. She's on Instagram, One Lane Road. She's real sweet, small business. I love to support that. Also, I'm talking to her about possibly designing a shirt for me, a Roots and Refuge shirt. So
that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Someone said, do we test? Okay, so I understand that that's a thing. I'm not saying that it's not a thing, but we have never tested the pH of our soil.
No. I keep it in mind. I know I would know if there are issues. Like, there are things that you can see. Sometimes your plants will get like certain spots, and it might be an issue with different deficiencies. When I had blueberries planted, I had the intention of like making their soil more acidic because they like that. And then deer came in the fence and ate all of them. So I didn't, end up doing that because the deer ate them. But when we do our berries, I'll probably add things to make the soil more acidic.
Saying you don't need to test the pH when you use compost, which our super soil is essentially composted wood chips with sand added in. And so we've never had to test. Because I mean, seriously, like, honestly, guys, when we plant something, it grows.
Yeah.
Like this soil.
Growing in compost is the way to go.
It's not like
actually,
else.
Rose Wholesome Roots, she told me that they have a super soil that's locally produced. So I think that's a pretty common thing that if you call around your nurseries. And Luke was telling me when we met in Virginia that, I mean, he grows in compost. So growing in straight compost is kind of, for me, the way to go, because once it's good and broke down, it's just straight nutrients for your plants, and you don't have to worry so much about stuff like that. So,
hey, Lacey, the Fit Farmer's on. Hey, Lacey.
Hey, Lacey, the Fit Farmer. That's
Where's
a great
Mike
channel.
at? Is Mike at the gym? Is he pumping some iron, eating some microgreens?
Where is what she said?
She hasn't responded yet. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody said, what's the name of Daniel's channel? It's Daniel Smith Psalmist, like the Psalms. But I think Lauren threw the link up. Maybe she can throw that up again. If you go on the info of like all of my videos, it's not on this one yet because it's live, but I put a link to Daniel's channel on the info of all my videos. So I have spearmint and peppermint planned for next spring. Do I need to keep them separated far to prevent them crossing, or is it okay if they mingle? Spearmint and peppermint are both big time bullies. And so you want to put them in containers of some sort. If you put them in a bed, just know they're going to spread and fill out wherever you put them. If you put them with other things, they'll end up kind of taking over. So you always want to contain your mints. I have mine planted together because the things I use them for, I don't mind them being mixed, but they look a lot alike. So if you've got them together, you know, it might get kind of confusing. That's really just preference on how you're planning on using those, if you want to keep them close together or not. But it's not going to change the flavor of each plant to be planted near each other. However, it could possibly cross the seeds if you're trying to save the seeds. So
Daniel does have an awesome voice. You know, we had this idea like when we were like smaller, like a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 small.
Yeah.
Which I know is big, but it was small for us at the time that we're at now. Anyways, we had this idea of doing like a worship night at the Refuge and like having Daniel come out and setting up and doing like a live worship night. And I think we should do that sometime.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
I would love that.
That'd be cool. Live worship night at the Refuge and setting up a sound system in the back. We've talked about doing that.
Really
Luke
cool.
said, how are plans for doubling the garden going? We're seriously awaiting some more details. We're planning some more expansion here too because of your inspiration. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, we're definitely doubling the garden. We're actually trying to get a hoop house from the USDA grant. And so we're waiting to do much until we hear about that. So that's really awesome. What
yes,
else?
mint is invasive.
Mint is very, very invasive.
Let's see any more questions. They're really getting after him about those thumbs up. I'm like, wait, did I thumb it up? I'm barely giving myself a thumbs up.
Yes, VW Family Farm. You'll have to be there. We'll let you guys know if we end up doing.
Why would you not be there? You're like 45 minutes away.
You come over for dinner. Of course, you'd come over for worship night.
Oh no, dinner. Yes.
The catalog. I was going
Worship,
to show the catalog.
Oh, here it is.
All right.
Show them the catalog. Well, which kid wanted to give you catalogs for Christmas?
Oh yeah. Whenever, like years ago, when my boys were much smaller, Jackson was like 5 or so, and Jeremiah was like, let's go shopping for mom for Christmas. And he said, oh, I know what mom loves. We have to get her catalogs for Christmas because I love the seed catalogs and chick catalogs. So here it is, the whole seed catalog. I'm just going to give you a quick look here. It's real thick. And basically it is a catalog. I mean, it's their seed collection, but every single type has a picture next to it. And they have like some history and the stories behind them. And they also have like they have some articles about different things in here. It shows kind of the ins and out of Baker Creek, talks about like their seed and their growers, but it also talks about, I'll show you one of my favorite things. Since you guys know that I love Wild Boar Farms, Brad Gates. They did a really awesome like spread talking about him and his seeds, and they really did his plants justice. Like check out the spreads on the Wild Boar Farms tomatoes. Can you all see that? Well, I know it's kind of glary. And they talk about the different ones. They just have a lot of descriptions of the different kinds of plants, and I really like that. So I definitely think this is gift worthy. I definitely think it's worth the $10 to get it. Like, when you really consider, if you're the type of person who appreciates something like this, how much of entertainment this is going to provide. Normally I would have already spent hours and hours in this. I've been very, very busy this week because of the holiday, but I've spent probably a little over an hour sitting here and looking through it. My friend Lauren was over here last night, I think is when it was, and we sat and looked through the whole thing. So I think it's a really cool thing.
We have a bunch of those to give away.
Yeah, we have several of them to give away. So,
also, someone asked, there is a free catalog, and
yeah.
then there's the one you pay for. There's 2 different catalogs from Baker Creek.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one we have a bunch to give away that are the paid for catalogs.
Yeah, they have their whole seed catalog, and then their free catalog. I think it has all the varieties in it, but I don't think they have photos with them. I think that's what the deal is. Every variety has a photo next to it, as well as lots of other photos and more in-depth descriptions. And they have like here it's talking about parsnips, and it talks about like tips in growing them and stuff like that. So this just has more information in it, whereas the free seed catalog does have all the varieties listed.
We have not worked out the giveaways yet. We've got quite a few things that we're working out on, like the boots and the catalogs and the other stuff that Baker Creek gave us. So I'm sure you'll figure out soon. Good night.
The Grateful Sunnites said good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's a really sweet channel if you guys haven't checked them out. So yes, we are working out the giveaways. Sorry, I got distracted. So what?
When you start giving them away, remember I'm your favorite fan.
What I would really like to do is find one of those giveaway services where people can go on and enter and like get more entries for sharing and all of that. Because what happens is like I'll have people on Instagram tell me, well, I don't have other platforms, or YouTube says they don't have other platforms. And so I want to make it fair that more people can get opportunities to give away, no matter if they have other platforms. Because like for a really long time, I didn't have Facebook, and it drove me crazy when I had to have Facebook to do things because I just didn't have it. So I'm trying to avoid that. And we're going to have several packages. I'm actually about to send some messages out, so don't hold me to this. I'm just waiting to see. But what I was kind of thinking about doing was coming up with like a grand prize package with the Baker Creek stuff and the bogs. And I was kind of thinking about reaching out to my connections at Tractor Supply to see if they wanted to sweeten that deal, but I don't have that in concrete yet because I love giving stuff away. It's my favorite, especially when I don't have to pay for it. That's really fun.
Yeah, we didn't choose because someone asked about why quail versus meat birds. We didn't choose quail over meat birds. We're doing both. We decided to do quail now because getting set up for them was easier and cost less than getting fully set up for what we want to do with meat birds, chickens. So we will be doing our own poultry.
Meat birds, we wanted to wait until spring because you kind of want, like, we want to be able to move them around in a tractor. And in the winter, there's nothing for them to eat. There's not really bugs or grass. And so in the spring, that makes for healthier birds. Plus, they're outside. Quail will be outside too, but it'll just be a little easier to care for in the cold weather.
Someone did ask about, okay, so if you're planting a bunch of different varieties of the same kind of vegetable, are you concerned about them cross-pollinating? Which I think I know part of the answer to that. Like, well, I mean, it depends if you're trying to save the seeds. Like, if you're trying to save pure seeds, then you would have to isolate. You would want to isolate. Some things they don't cross-pollinate as readily as others. Tomatoes can cross-pollinate, and they basically, like, what you will get suggested to you is to keep them 50 feet apart. Or not 50 feet, like 50 yards apart if you're wanting to make sure that they don't cross. And some people say, like, way further than that. However, they typically don't cross that readily. And it just depends on how particular you want to be about that. Like, if you absolutely 100% want to save that seed, you can cover the blossoms and keep them from crossing. What? Someone said, Daniel, you like you're in serious thought because he has that serious.
You're just taking it all in.
He's reading.
I'm reading.
He's from Alabama, so that comes by really hard for him. It's going too fast. All you got to do is win championship football games.
And sing.
And sing.
Really
true.
Good.
You can sing. You can sing really good. That's true.
How's everything doing in the lovely greenhouse?
A couple of things died from the shock, didn't they? Yeah, some things really died from the shock. And like, I moved a tomato plant in there and it looked really bad, but it's starting to perk back up. So everything's doing okay. Trying to figure out the heating aspect of that before I plant just a whole lot in there. But we're going to get some lights in there and some heat, and I'm going to start planting some more. Mama also asked what I was most excited about next year. I'm actually working on a list, and I'm going to do a video about that, about some new things that I'm trying that I'm really excited about. It's probably good I don't have my seeds. They want a musical interlude.
Musical interlude?
All right, give Daniel a ukulele, sing for a minute. I'm going to go grab us something to drink.
All right. If y'all insist.
You want a ukulele or guitar?
Whatever y'all prefer. This is y'all's live.
Okay, guys, ukulele or guitar?
Ukulele or guitar. I can't play both at the same time.
He's good, but not that good. I have a friend who raises quail for hunting, big money here in South Carolina. That's interesting. I don't have a heater yet, so they're all saying, I don't know, it's like half and half. What do you think? Just pick one, quick.
Let me go with the ukulele. It's new.
Or the ukulele. Okay. Luke said he isn't nervous. The sign of a natural. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, Daniel, I'm okay musically. I'm not great. I'm just learning. I'm new, is what I should say. Daniel makes me feel like I'll be playing, like, strumming, and then I'll be like, I did it. I did good. And then he takes it. He's like, and I'm just like, I suck.
And I keep telling her she doesn't, and y'all keep encouraging her to sing to you guys. Like, she's been battling with it a little bit, but she's gonna sing for y'all. She has an incredible voice. So I guess I can sing. Is there any certain song you think I should sing?
I don't know.
I guess I can do Arise My Love.
All right. Oh, you're going to do it on there? I'll stop messing with this.
You're okay. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice. For your voice is sweet. Then your face is lovely. Let me see your face. And let me hear your voice. For your voice is sweet. Then your face is lovely. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. Arise, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. For I am sealed with love. I'm overcome. You're so beautiful. You brought me in to sit at your table, and you banner over me is love. Oh, 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 oh,
Yay!
All right, music interlude. Cool.
Oh gosh. I'm really sexy.
What?
Somebody said Jeremiah jump in with Cowbell.
Come
I said
on.
more cowbell.
More cowbell. Someone also suggested that we get our goat Christopher Walken a cowbell, and we're totally doing that. So
I'm totally gonna do that.
yeah, Daniel is really awesome at music, and we're really blessed to have him do the music for our channel. It really is a blessing because I know that that moves a lot of people's heart to be able to hear all of that. So all right. Let's see. Do you have a Christmas song? You don't have any. You don't have any recorded, do you?
I have none recorded. I just did a video on my channel of singing in front of their greenhouse. Oh, come let us adore him. So you can go check that out. I love Christmas music, not as much as she does, but I do love Christmas music.
So, someone said your songs make them cry in a good way. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Ha! Monique said, "Dance, Maya, dance." Jeremiah is a great dancer. He actually really is a really good dancer. He actually can swing dance really well. We're not done yet. Our kids are watching your Christmas movie and they're starting to get a little antsy. They usually go next door to Grandpa. Okay, back to gardening questions. Raised beds versus row gardening, pros and cons. I'm a big believer in raised garden beds. It's just a lot easier. You can control your soil. You don't have to bend down as far. I really am a huge believer in raised garden beds if it's possible.
Yeah, I like it too. Now, I think in the high tunnel, we're just going to go directly to the ground.
Yeah, we're talking about doing just ground. We're going to try the back to Eden thing.
If it doesn't work, we'll go.
Yeah, that's the thing is that like for us, we're going to do the back to Eden thing in the high tunnel and put chips on the ground because we can always add raised garden beds if we want to. But the benefit of doing in the ground with the high tunnel is that once it's in there, and we want to be able to use as much of it as possible. Whereas raised beds, you have to have certain walkways to be able to get around them. Yeah. Within the ground, I think we'll be able to use more space. Lauren's calling you out. She said Jeremiah doesn't have a cowbell, but he does have a djembe and drum set that he can play. I'll pay for this later. We Yeah, Jeremiah he's good on the drums. So,
which I'm not gonna like. What I'm gonna do, like a live drumming with Maya or something.
No, you could play with
Daniel. Jeremy's downstairs.
Oh well, you could go get it. I do not have a promo code for the Baker Creek catalog. However, I can tell you that they've started doing free shipping on any size order, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I'd love to have a cajon. I mean, we were at a Guitar Center picking out Jessica's ukulele for her birthday, and they had a cajon there. I was just like, it was beautiful.
That's awesome. Will you be heating the high tunnel with a wood stove? That's an excellent idea. I did not think about. That would be really cool. Wonder how that would be really cool. That would be really neat. We have a wood stove in storage. Coffee grounds on the ground first and then wood chips. I've actually been collecting coffee grounds. You can get free coffee grounds from Starbucks, and I drink a lot of coffee. So there's that too. Can you repeat Daniel's channel name? Willow Creek just shared it. Awesome. Thank you guys. My moderators are so awesome, and I just thank y'all so much. Okay, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left, so let's get these questions in. Someone said they're a new subscriber to M.I. Gardner. If you are by chance not subscribed to M.I. Gardner, he's got a lot of subscribers. If you are not subscribed to him, go subscribe. I learned so much in the garden from Luke, a whole lot. So he is so knowledgeable, and I totally love watching his channel. Will you guys be expanding in the future to raising cattle?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know
exactly. We don't have the space right now where we're at.
So if I can work out the lease agreement on January 1st for the acreage next door, and he's okay with it, like I said, we can work out the details, then we'll at least run a few.
Right.
Just really for us. Not to really make a bunch of money, but just to kind of provide our own beef really would be the goal. So that could be happening soon. If that doesn't work out, then we will be adding it at some point. I just can't say when.
Someone asked what my favorite coffee was. I think I missed that. Okay. My favorite coffee to drink is called Onyx. And it's locally roasted in Arkansas. It's, ONYX, but you can buy it anywhere online. It's on Amazon and stuff. And there's one called Southern Weather, and that's my favorite one. It's so good. Name one seed pack from your Baker Creek trip that you're most excited about and why. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Reza Macedonia, I think is what it is. And it's there it is. It's a pepper, and it is, it's got like this really etched skin. Let me see if I can show you. Can you all see that? Isn't that neat? It's a hot pepper, and it's got just this cool etching on the skin, and it grows like that. That's the first one that pops in my mind that I'm most excited about. I'm really excited about a lot of them. I got a lot of flower seeds, a whole lot of flower seeds, all different kinds. And so I'm so pumped because my garden is going to be even prettier next year. This year I had like all yellow marigolds. I had a couple of different patches of zinnias. They were all pretty much the same kind because last year I just started out of like maybe a handful of packages of flowers, but now I'm going to have a whole lot. I'm doing cosmos, lots of different marigolds and zinnias. I've got poppy seeds, which I don't know exactly where I'm going to do with this. I got a whole lot of different flowers I'm pumped about. What? Do I want to know? I don't know.
Someone said it, and Luke is nice to look at. He's pretty cute. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be honest about it.
Oh my goodness. What's my favorite flower? My favorite flower to grow is probably zinnias. They're just so easy, and they're so pretty, and they forgive you so much. I would really love to get into roses. Whenever I get into doing the cottage garden in the front yard, we'll probably branch into roses. My granddaddy grew roses, and I don't know. That's just something special about that.
Thanks, Carla.
Thank you, Carla, for that. Carla sent super chat and said happy holidays to all from Southern California. My favorite Wild Boar Farms tomato. That's a really hard question to answer. Cherry tomatoes, all the cherry tomatoes. That's like a sneaky answer to get more than one variety in. One variety would see. I'm still doing it. I'm like, well, the blue and gold berries. That's actually two varieties. of all of them, if I had to pick just one to have, it would be the gold berries, blue gold berries, which are a cherry tomato with dark blue shoulders, yellow. They're crazy prolific. The plants get taller than me, and they're the first to produce every year. They are my first cherry tomato to eat, and they're my last ones to produce. They do really, really well.
Someone has asked a couple of times, so I've seen it. I'll try and answer it. What kind of windows do you collect for your greenhouse? And the answer to that is any, because how you're going to build, how we're going to do it, and I will do a video about it. Is that, I'm going to get together and kind of lay out on the ground the windows I have to get to the dimensions I want, whatever it is. Yesterday was, 12 by 15, and then it keeps going up and down and up. So whenever we decide, like Jessica finally settles in, like, it's going to be an 18 by 100 or whatever.
Are you making fun of me?
No. Whenever she finally settles in on how big I have to make this thing, I will lay that out and piece together with the small, big, whatever, and then we'll frame them in one window at a time. And so really just get any windows. Like, honestly, the more variety of windows, the harder, but the better looking and more unique your greenhouse will be.
Yeah. So that's going to be really cool. Someone said, is Lauren Hall actually a computer?
Yes.
No, she's just very exceptional.
When I think of Lauren, I always think of zeros and ones. Ethan, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right, there's my time warning. It is 9 o'clock, so it is time for us to say goodbye. But we will be back next Sunday.
Daniel's going to close us out with a
song. Or you know, we really do have to
That's
close.
What they keep asking for. We got to give the people what they want. We'll have a mutiny on their hands.
Oh, really quick.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like a quick song. Like Jessica.
All right.
Like
then we're gonna say. So we bless you guys. We love you. Thank you so much. Next Sunday, same time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right. We bless you guys. Thank you so much. Until next time.